Hello everyone, welcome to a new show, a Foxborough recap in English. Usually those shows in English are not watched by a lot of people, maybe almost 10 times less than the French ones. That's why not really sure if I want to keep doing them or not. It's either you don't understand me or you don't like what I have to say. Either way, there's a few guys that asked for a Foxborough recap in English, so I'm gonna do one. And since I have to do some work on my bike, I'll do at the same time. I'm multitasking. So Foxborough, the track. Let's start with the track. I really liked it. Obviously, first of all, we have to say a big thanks to the track crew. It's been a rough season for them in terms of weather and stuff. They killed it again. Track conditions were great for even for practice and for the night show, obviously. So that was good. I like the layout. I heard a lot of people complaining about the hard base, but I think that was good because you have to adapt, and it's good to have a different soil every weekend. I like the combos, the first big rhythm section after the start. So you have the left side. Seems like the left side was better in practice. The right side was better in practice, and then during the race it was more the left side. Whoops were like almost non-existent. But that's the days we live in. Other than that, yeah, your sand section and the wall, the traction was bad, so it made the track kind of challenging, which was good. Other than that, that's about it for the track. Let's start with the 250. Great race by Deegan. He's been riding. He's been improving. He wasn't lighting the world on fire the first few races, but something happened in the break. He looked more comfortable, more mobile on the bike. His starts been better also, just start to finish. He kind of didn't have to charge too much to win the race. Like what I saw, I think it was a smart race. He was good in the whoops. He did what he had to do to manage the few seconds lead that he had. I thought that was a good performance. That's his only option nowadays because he was trailing. I think by 16 points before the race. Now he's at 13 with 3 races to go. Or 4? That's the question. Yeah, 3 races to go, 13 points. So that's he's back in it. He's back in it because next weekend and the finals are like a east-west shootout. So that's where you can gain a bunch of points. So 13 points doesn't seem that much. If you take in consideration that they're gonna have to race the West guys. Then we have McAdoo. So McAdoo's been very impressive, not in speed and winning races and being like super fast, but he's been racing to be in it for the championship this year. I think it's been riding smart. He doesn't make that many mistakes this year. He's riding within his limits, which that's something we haven't seen in the past years. So that's I like when I see riders that are improving from what we know about them. We know about McAdoo always sending it and crashing a lot and not very being consistent, super fast or crashing and losing points. And this year has been very, very consistent, and that's pretty much why he's up front. I thought he did what he had to do against Vial this weekend. Vial was second in the championship before Foxborough, 2 points behind, and McAdoo had a mid-pack start, and he had a crazy good first couple laps, and he got in 2 seconds like pretty quick. Same thing, like fast in the whoops, but he wasn't sketchy at all. There was, we did not see like the whole 15 minutes of him riding, obviously, but we did not see any like crazy moments that we used to see from him. We saw one in Daytona when he was in the front, made a big mistake and gave the position to Vial. We saw that one, but he's leading the championship, and but only 4 points now in front of Vial, and 13 in front of Deegan. Vial got third with pretty much almost the whole shot. Deegan was coming from the outside, so he had a better run into the first reinjection. So like Vial was second right off the bat, and he did not have anything for McAdoo nor Deegan this weekend. So he kind of settled for third, which, and I said on the French show with Marvin, which is coaching him on the weekends. I don't really like that because we did not see him try anything to try to beat McAdoo and to leave Foxborough with being tied. If he gets in front of McAdoo in a main event in Foxborough, now they're tied in points. And right now it's 4 points. So every time you ride against your competition, those points count doubles. Say, oh, I lose 2 points. No, you lose 4 points because you lose 2 and your competition wins 2. So it's a 4-point turnaround. And that's what happened. And I wasn't too pumped on it. And Marvin said Vial like struggled with his setup and did not feel comfortable all day long, which I understand. You cannot feel like great every race, but I would have liked to see a little more, commitment from Vial this weekend. But he settled for third for a podium spot. And also what I said is, if he rides like that next weekend in Nashville with the West guys, if you had Kitchen, if you had Hampshire, you had Smith, Shimoda, you can easily finish 7th or 8th. And in the championship, if McAdoo get a podium and you finish 7 or 8, then you lose a ton of points. So every time you have an opportunity to gain, or you have to take it. There's no way you can settle. You can settle if you have a 20-point lead with four races to go. You can lose 2 points here and there, and it's fine. But for them right now, and you can do that. And McAdoo did great. He did great because I don't think he tried to catch up on Deegan, couldn't do it. And then he settled for a second, but he gained 2 on Vial and then only lost 3 on Deegan. So yeah, that's my thing on the situation. And also you can see when McAdoo passed Vial is doing the right side of the rhythm section, and that's during the night show that was a slow line, and he gets passed because McAdoo does the on over table 3 2 into the turn, and you know, that's something they need to pick up on. That's, you cannot give free time to your competition like that. You got to take the fast lines and jump the fast jumps to go fast. That sounds very primary thinking, but you know, there's nothing to it. Just do the track the fast way. What I seen 250. 250. After that, we didn't really see the other guys. Briefly, we saw Brown and Jadek Swall, Ensti. We saw Ensti going off the track. And then we saw Brown and Swall being like so sketch, jumping 3-3 in the whoops. Looked like that was the first time in their life they were jumping whoops or going through a set of whoops, basically. That was like, when I watched that and you look so sketch, you almost like Swall almost went over the balls doing 3-3. I'm like, dude, it's not that bad. 3-3, it's like jumping like not even 20 feet, maybe 18 feet with a 2 feet high jump, and then you're gonna almost crash, and I don't get it. They need to be better. We gotta be better, because yeah, this weekend we only saw like basically the top 3 in the 250 class. What else did I see? That's pretty much it in the 250. On the 450 side, we saw a little bit more. Obviously, you know, we go from the beginning. Obviously, a great race by Coop, and same as Deegan. Something happened during the break. That was a little different Coop that we saw this weekend. Especially what made me say that is when you see him, so he gets an all shot, and then he has Roxanne behind him. Roxanne is arguably the best rider of the first couple laps, outdoors or Supercross. He's so quick to pass people, so quick to go through the pack, very aggressive right off the bat. And when I see that, I'm like, oh, I really thought Roxanne was going to pass Coop right away, the first couple laps or the first lap or whatever. And then the first time I see Coop going through, jumping the triple after the mechanics, and I see the body English and the way he scrubbed that triple, and I'm like, dude, that's great. I haven't seen him do that in a while. Go straight away in front of the mechanics, turn, triple, you see him, he turns, he stands up, and then scrub the crap out of the triple. And that's something we don't see a lot from Coop. And then his first few laps, when you know Roxanne behind in second is great in the first couple laps. And Kenny had nothing for Coop. So, and Coop got the fastest lap in practice also. So that's why I'm saying something happened. I don't know what happened. He says he hasn't touched his bike since December, but something happened maybe in his approach of the race during the week. what he worked on after the last race, obviously that paid out. I really liked what he was doing in the whoops. That was the only guy doing that. When he was, there was 5 jumps before the whoops. So the line was going 3-2, and then everybody was blisting the whoops, skimming. He was doing 3, and instead of doing 2, instead of doing double, he was jumping all the way behind the first whoop, and then jumping in the whoops 4. He did that a few times. Only the last lap, he skimmed the whoops. Maybe he thought I was not fast enough, but seriously, you go triple, instead of stopping to double, downside the double, and then gas it again to go and skim the whoops, he goes 3. Here, he doesn't wait. He jump like it's a triple inside the whoops and go 3 and 4 in, and then there's only 5 left. And then at the end of the night, the last few whoops, like, they're non-existent. They're done. They're out. So I really liked what he was doing. He kept doing what he's comfortable with. The rhythm section, after the start, he went to the left side on over 3. That was the fastest line. He did that the whole time. After that, only Jet was doing 3-3-1 or 3-2-2. Obviously, that after that was faster. But he went the faster other way, meaning he went 2-2 and 3, because when you were doing 2-3 and 2, the last 3 and 2, you were taking off from big and tall jumps. So those, they just stop you, right? So you go high, you don't go forward. And I like what he was doing, 2-2, and then the last 3 was very fast, and that would set him up pretty good for that turn. And yeah, very good race by Webb. Impressed by the tiny changes and the tiny improvement that I saw in speed. He was more aggressive, more mobile on the bike. And you know what? He did what he had to do. Started in front and stayed in front. And now the guys are tied. Second was Sexton. And Sexton's going to be my rant of the week, like I did in my French side. Rant of the week, why? I'm going to explain. So it's third. He gets to third pretty quick. Roxanne is second. We know Roxanne is no, amazing rider. And he spends over 10 laps. They did 23 laps in the main event. Yeah, I'm sure he did at least 18 laps behind, or 15 at least. Why? You seem like you're coming from farther back, you're catching those guys, and you can't pass them. There's a few things. You keep doing the right side of the rhythm section, and you lose a few bike links every time. And you don't see that. You should see it, because when you're behind somebody, you can judge and manage the lines compared to the guy in front. So you see where you lose, you see where you gain. So when you lose, make a change. So you lose time in that rhythm section. You have this turn, and now he goes, the rhythm section before the finish, he goes 2-3-2. I'm okay with that. While Roxanne does maybe the same or maybe 2-2-3. But Roxanne is more in the middle of the track. And then when you're in the middle of the track, you kind of open your next turn. It's a right-hander before the finish. But what does Sexton do every lap? He loses time the rhythm section before, and he goes to the rhythm section after, all the way to the right, every lap. But he knows he can't really pass right there at that point because he loses time. So he gets in super tight before the finish. And then you have all the ruts that go down like this, like from the middle of the turn. And he goes in, he's perpendicular to the ruts with his front wheel. And he doesn't have the right angle to dive in those ruts. So in that turn, he loses again more time. If you look after the finish, then the 2 or 3 bike links, it's 5 or 6. And then he tries to catch back up. He was good in the whoops. He was skimming good. And what he was doing that was great, that was doing, after the whoops, he was doing the on-off. Same thing, the on-off was great. On-off outside, because the inside was like super slick and people like stopped doing it. They were going over single inside. It was super, super slick. And Sexton, which was good, kept doing the on-off and going into the berm. He was gaining a lot of time on that spot. I thought that was great. That was good. But then you get to Roxanne, and I don't know, they're friends, they ride together every week. Then you're too nice. Even when you pass him, even when you have the pass made before the finish, you don't even go and make him. When you broke past someone, I'm not saying you have to take him out, but you have to make the guy you're passing slow down, right? He left him so much room, and Roxanne was waiting for him to come up. And at one point, Roxanne is like, oh, he's not coming up. I'm going to gas in and go around him. And then he passed him back. Roxanne make a mistake as a strategy after that. And after the finish, dives to the inside. He could have went wide on the fast line, and Sexton would have never passed him right there. Sexton passed him just because Roxanne took the inside, lost the rear. Sexton went out and went around him. But you need to gain a lot of points. You cannot, if you Sexton, you cannot afford to lose more points on Jet and Webb. Webb is in front, not that far, right there. You can see him. And I don't see this state of urgency from Sexton when he's behind Roxanne. He's too nice. He's riding with his body. He doesn't want to, rough any feathers. I'm like, dude, it's the championship. You like double digit behind in points. You got to gain. You cannot afford to finish behind Jet or Webb. Right now, you're in front of Jet, but you're not in front of Webb. You got to go and get Webb. And that's, my rant is, I think the strategy from Chase was not good. I think his line choice, after seeing like some of the lines were slower, he was doing yo-yo. Some part of the track, he was good. And some other part, you could see Roxanne just gaining a little time. And he never changed. He jumped that rhythm section to the right the whole moto. It wasn't that hard. Just go on the right, on the left, and just follow. I understand people, don't follow if you're on the pass. No, you got to follow, take the faster line, and pick a spot. It's okay to follow if you're in the fast lane. Take the fast line, follow, and wait for an opportunity, and dive into it. But if you play yo-yo for like 15 laps and you don't change, and you don't want to be aggressive because you don't want to, as Ricky would say, give him the elbow grease, Ricky, stop saying that. So he doesn't want to give him the elbow grease, as Ricky would say, and he spends 15 laps behind, and then he loses a race just for that. He loses the opportunity to get Webb later on. And that's my rant of the week. Third was Roxanne, finally back on the podium. This has been a rough season for him, and it's good that he's back on the podium. It's always, even, I think I was on the podium 44 times. I think only seven of them were wins. So the other 37 was second or third, which it's not really what you want, but it's not that bad, right? And that's exactly how I feel Kenny feels about it. But I'm a little disappointed. Not disappointed because Webb was good, but I thought when I saw the start, I'm like, dude, Roxanne's gonna lead for a while. Might not win the race, but at least be aggressive and pass. That didn't happen, but always good to be on the podium. Fourth was Anderson. We didn't see him. We only saw him when Jet tried to pass him on the last turn. So I couldn't tell you, but top four and in that championship with the lineup, you have to do something right. You don't get fourth by not being good. So I think at this stage for El Hombre, the top four, top five is a pretty decent result. And the talk of the week is Jetson. So I see a lot of things, that's it, Jet's gonna blow it like Bradshaw in 92. That's it, Webb is inside his head. Webb's gonna win. He has this dog in him. Okay, I get it. You guys have a point, but this is based on opinion. Let's try to base it on facts, because facts are better. And the facts are, Jet is still the best. It doesn't show on paper because he got fifth, and he doesn't have the best lap time in the race, which Webb has. I did not check when he got it, but I'm guessing in the beginning. Jet was 12 on the first lap. He was 12 on the second lap. And then he was 11 for a couple laps. And then it took him time to go through the pack. Riders are good. They're good riders. They're fresh. It's the beginning of the race. They're not tired yet, no on pump. So everybody is competitive. So Jet has to go through the pack. What I look at is Jet is the only one doing that triple. He's the only one that has the skills and the ability and the confidence to do that during a race. If nobody else do it, it's because it has to be pretty tough. The third one was really high, and there was sketch. There's guys who were saying there's no way they're going to do it. They're going to keep doing double. They're not going to try it. Webb tried it once, I think, in practice, and that's it. So what I base my analysis on Jet is go back to the race, go back on Peacock, on replay, stop the 450 main event at the 10-minute mark. At the 10-minute mark, Jet is 15 seconds behind Webb. 15 seconds. We have 10 laps to go, plus one. So we have, I think they did 24 laps, 23 or 24 laps or something like that. Maybe 12 laps to go, something like that. And then go back to the the results sheet and look the gap to Webb at the end of the race. It's only 8 seconds. I think if I remember right, it's 8.1 seconds. So in 10 minutes, Jet gained 7 seconds on Webb, who was on it because Sexton and Roczen were behind. So it's not like Webb had like a 15-second lead, and the last 3 laps he was 2 or 3 seconds off. He was on until the finish. That's why I base my analysis on this, because they race until the finish, which is not always the case. So the numbers tell a story. In 10 minutes, in traffic, I think he was 5th or 6th. He had to pass Tomac in that time. I think he passed Tomac at the 8 or 9 minute to go mark. So 10 minutes to go, he's still behind Tomac. He has to pass Tomac and a few other guys. While in traffic, he gained 7 seconds. When Webb is in front, fighting for a win with 2 amazing riders, Sexton and Roczen, behind him. So it's okay. Don't worry about Jet. He's fine. He was he was still, he didn't win, but I think he was the best rider. He was the best rider in Foxborough, and which is okay if you think otherwise. You have the right to do so. But that's how I feel, and he'll be all right, and it's good for us because now we have a 4 race series, which is going to be great. I think that's good for us, and it's good for Peacock. It's good for a bunch of people. They're gonna love this, and obviously people are going to talk about it. But I still think like it's Jets championship to lose as of now. But you gotta as they say, you gotta be in it to win it. You can't really. I understand like you don't have to all shot to win, but you cannot start 12 and make your life easy to win. So he's gonna have to be a little better on that. So yeah, now we have 2 red plates, 4 races to go, and then I think Sexton, if I remember right, I do it all by memory. It's kind of I think Sexton is only 15 points behind, which is not it's not a lot of points. Anything can happen. Obviously, it's 4 points. It's 15 points. It's only 4 points a race, so it's not that bad. But as I said before, you cannot afford to lose more time and points on Webb and Jet combined. After that, guys, are further. We have, I think Tomac is 30 points behind, and you have Roczen 39 points behind. So for those guys, unfortunately, as we say in French, the carrots are cooked. It means basically, it's over. The carrots are cooked. It's over. It's over for those guys. We can talk about Tomac a little bit. Still the same thing. Still his setup is weird, and I don't know. I posted a video. I don't know if that this force bottoming out or something, but I feel with the setup he has, when he's and this is not non-factual. It's all opinion, speculation. With his setup, if there's nobody around and he can focus on his lines, his riding, and then kind of like when he was in that Triple Crown or whatever that he won, kind of by himself doing his own thing. and the track conditions are good for his setup. Not too slick, not too ruddy, in between. I think he has, it's good. But when he has to race other guys, other than Dallas, where he had like an amazing race, he has a tough time, you know, through traffic a little bit. I think his setup is maybe the case, but you know, that's only speculation. I think it's, you know, obviously, like I've been saying that, I think his bike doesn't look very good. Like the balance is so off to what a Supercross bike should look like. I understand he wins races and all this, but you know, I can't help like seeing him. Like, dude, if he had a bike that's more balanced, less teeter totter, that's how you say, teeter totter, I think he would be way better. But that's only my has-been opinion. Other than that, I hope you like this small recap while I was working on my restoration. You can check these 2 episodes of restoration. It's both in French and in English. So I know there's not a lot of people that speak both languages, so I'll do in both. And that's it. Keep watching the show if you like it, and we'll see you around. See ya.